Yo, what's good everyone? It is GlitchXCity here, and I am back once again for Season 3 of the Saffron Battle Network. And prior to this season, I was in Season 1 and 2. However, we did really bad in those seasons. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Chase. I was in Season 1 and 2 of the Saffron Battle Network. More than likely, I'm going to have viewers that are already from that league. But hey, little heads up. But you know what? It's cool. The person hosting this league, EXP Awesome, also props to him for making these graphics, by the way. As you guys can see, we got the nice team card. Well, I made it myself, but he gave me the template, and then I just did it all myself. But other than that, we're back for Season 3. I haven't made a video in a hot minute. Like, I haven't made a video in, like, forever, mostly because, like, I finally got a job, and like that job was more of a priority, and then like Pokemon kind of died for me at one point, but now it's slowly regaining back. I'm starting to watch more Nappy, Shady, like the old school, like what I used to like be excited to watch every time I got back from school. But now we're back. Yo, that freaking Dark Rising Nuzlocke from Nappies though, pretty hype, right? But other than that, we're back. Getting back into competitive. I've been at this job for a while now, and I'm starting to develop more time management and more motivation, and I was like, hey, let's join the league. So EXP Awesome was finding people, and he asked me and a few other veterans if we wanted to join, and I'm like, yo, sure. So I applied like last second, like literally the night he was picking out people, and I got in. So we're back, and hopefully we can make a change this season from prior to other seasons, because in Season 1 and 2, for that, the Saffron Battle Network was mostly kind of like my side league. It was that one league. It was like that second or third league that I didn't really care for, because I had the MPA, which is my league, so that was my main league that I wanted to focus on. And if I did bad in Saffron Battle Network, then it's whatever. If I did great, then that's great. I can get to go to playoffs and such. But neither of which I went to playoffs, and you know, for 1 and 2, I just didn't really have the motivation to really care for that league in particular. I'm not saying Pokemon overall, but just for this league in particular. But now, the IPL is over, like that died. The Frost Battle League's already over, so that's cool. I never uploaded for that, but now it's about to be over. As of this recording, there should be on playoffs right now. And then SBN just started up. My league kind of died, but now it's starting to regrow because everyone wants to finish. So I got the MPA, the SBN, and you know, I think at this point the SBN is pretty much my main league at this point. So I was like, you know what, let's just do it. So as you guys can see the 12 Pokemon on our screen. This is our draft for the Pancham Express. Yes, in Season 1 we were the Big Island Weasels? It was either Big Island Weasels, I think it was the Big Island Weasels, and then in Season 2 we were the Pearl City Pachirisus, and now we're back as the Pancham Express. And yeah, I was like, yo, why not? Panda Express is my favorite place to eat. Pancham's a pretty cool Pokemon. Put 2 and 2 together, we got the Pancham Express. So we are coming back. Not the first time this team is represented. It's more my recent new team, because I freaking love it. But other than that, we're, like I said, back as the Pancham Express. And with the total Pokemon, you can see, you know, like you're probably wondering, like, oh, why do you have a Thunderstarian, Kyurem, Mew, Bisharp? Like, aren't those all OU? And then you have like some other wacky mons. Well, yeah, it was a free draft. Overall free draft, and basically this is going to be our draft analysis, and I'm just going to go ahead, run down through each of the Pokemon that I drafted, my thought process was. And if you guys want to know like what order I listed them, if you go from Thundurus to Bisharp, Bisharp to Snorlax, then to Hitmonlee, Hitmonlee to Rotom, and Rotom to Trevenant, that's the order I look at it, because it's the way I prepare my teams whenever I team build. It's like how I organize it. So like in the order you guys see it and what I just said, that's the order in which I drafted them. So without further ado, it's been 4 minutes in. Let's go ahead, get this draft analysis out of the way, because it's been a while since I made a video, and I'm pretty excited for this league, honestly. So let's start off with Thunderstarian. Nice base 101 speed, hard-hitting base 145 special attack with a decent attack of 105. This electric type is like, it's probably like not as good. Like, between the regular form and the Therian form, the regular is definitely better, mainly because of Prankster. It has 10 base points and speed higher, because Thunderstarian is only 101, and then I think Thunder Incarnate is 111, and it has pretty decent stats. I mean, Thunderstarian is not that bad. I sacrifice 10 points in speed for more special attack, which in the end isn't that bad, because I'm still decently fast, and I'm pretty sure I had the same defenses overall. Not the best, but you know, it's pretty decent. At least it's not like 45 defense, 70 defense, 80 speed def, and then 79 HP. So pretty good mon all around. Its name's gonna be Cloud9, and I'm gonna name it. Yeah, its name's gonna be Cloud9. I'm gonna make it shiny because I like it shiny. It looks freaking awesome. But you know, like if you want to know my original plan, I wanted Zorora, because Zorora is like recently new, and like recently like you can use it and all this other stuff. And yeah, someone, like, it was my turn, but there was a time limit, like a 10-hour time limit. I just wasn't able to like tell my pick, and I was gonna get Zorora, and then I was like, and then as soon as I got there, it was the next person's turn. I was like, do I just announce my pick as soon as I get here? So I typed in Zorora, and then Experience Awesome was like, no, you do that after it goes back to you, you get 2 picks. I'm like, oh shoot. So I deleted my message as soon as I could, and then like it was slowly but surely getting back to me on the snake way. And yeah, I think it was whoever the NJ Brobats are or whatever. I know, I may be wrong, but some guy took it. I'm like, I was so freaking depressed. I'm like, shit, I wanted Zorora and Zygarde. I don't care which form of Zygarde I got, I just wanted Zygarde. I don't care if it's 10 or 50%, I wanted Zygarde. I don't care if it was 25%, I wanted Zygarde. I just wanted it. But because of that, I kind of had a new change of thought. But between Thundurus and Zygarde, I realized that they both share a common ice weakness, and you know, I wanted a hard-hitting Pokemon. Like Zorora is like one of those Pokemon that hits. I don't know if it hits hard because I've never used it before, but it's one of those signature type Pokemon, because like signature moves Plasma Fist, one of the strongest physical electric type moves apart from like Volt Tackle and Wild Charge. Like it's probably the best you can get in terms of physical damage. So other than that, I got Thundurus Darien. I could have got Incarnate. I don't know if Incarnate was still available, but I wanted to go different because I've used Incarnate before a lot in the past. So I wanted to go Therian, and the main similarity between them is that they're both electric types. Yes, of course, I do add an Ice and Rock weakness by being a flying type, but I also have Volt Absorb, so at least I'm neutral to electric type moves. And I do understand that some electric types, or most electric types, run HP Ice to deal with ground types and such, but as you guys can see, I have an Excadrill, so they can't just do that anymore. So depending on the electric type Pokemon, it's not going to be that easy for you guys, for someone to take that Thundurus with another electric type Pokemon if it's not HP Ice. Like, that's the main thing that I'm thinking about, unless it's like Electivire with Rock Slide or some other crap like that. But for the most part, I just didn't want to be completely exposed to HP Ice, and that's also the reason why I didn't get Zygarde. I got Kyurem instead, because instead of being 4 times weak to Ice, I'm neutral to Ice because I'm a Dragon and Ice type. Decently fast. Kyurem is like a nice base 95. It's Kyurem Black or White form. I didn't even want Kyurem Black. I honestly didn't, because I feel like Kyurem Black is just like, it's one of those overrated Pokemon, and like, of course it can hit really hard. I feel like it's gonna get a kill every time it comes in, but you know, I wanted to go different. I don't like to go with the trend. I don't like to go ordinary. So you know, I just wanted to go with Kyurem. So I mean, it's the same base speed as Kyurem Black and Kyurem White at base 95. Its HP is 125, which is crazy insane, with base 90 on both defenses. So this thing is definitely a really bulky Pokemon, especially with a 130 attack and 130 special attack. So I can honestly run mixed if I wanted to. It gets reliable recovery and roost, but the only thing it does provide me with, along with Thundurus, is going to be that rock weakness. So Stock Dogs are going to be pretty crucial against my team, especially like with stuff like Rotom Heat and such. But I do have 2 reliable spinners in the form of Blastoise and Excadrill. Excadrill probably being the best rabbit spinner in my opinion, but we'll get to that point when we get there. But next up we got Mew. Mew was still on the board on round 3. I don't know if I got Mew or Bisharp first, but I'm pretty sure I got Mew next. But it's just surprising to me that whether it be round 3 or round 4, Mew was still there. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna just pick up Mew, because why not? I mean, Mew is an all-around good Pokemon. It's like this thing almost learns everything, and you know, like, why not? I mean, I've used Mew. I've had Mew last season along with Hoopa Unbound, but like I said, I didn't do well that season. So hopefully I can redeem myself and actually prove that I know how to use this Pokemon, or in general that I can show to most of these people that I'm a decent battler at the least. So, not saying at the best by no means, but I just want to give that good first impression, like give people the thought that I'm not a terrible battler, that I'm pretty decent overall. So by having Mew, I feel like Mew is a good way to expose that, because Mew is such a very diverse Pokemon. It's not like Excadrill, or like, it's not like Excadrill where like it's pretty much one-sided. It could be not one-sided, but like it only has a few roles. So like bulky rapid spin, Scarf with Earthquake, with Mold Breaker, maybe a Sand Rush Sweeper. But other than that, Mew can do almost anything. And if I can use my brain somehow and just like come up with sets that no one would particularly run, sets that would be most effective, because Mew has so many options to go along with it. And you know, at this point I should just go ahead and say it, Mew and Thundurus are my 2 Zmons, and the restrictions for these Zmons are no Omniboost, no Medium Z, and no Omniboost, no Medium Z. And that's pretty much about it. So between Thundurus and Mew, they can both use physical, or they can both use offensive Z moves, and they can both use status Z moves. So if I wanted to, I could run like Z Psychic Terrain on Mew, which I actually don't know if it gets. I'm gonna actually find out. Does it get Psychic Terrain? No, it doesn't. It's so ass. Oh my god. If he got Z Psychic Terrain, I would have used that like week 1, hands down. But, who is my week 1 opponent? I don't know. I'll find out later. But we have Mew up in here. I've got Mew. And like I said, base 100 across the board. Just an overall good Pokemon. But next up, we got Bisharp. Bisharp is one of those Pokemon that I've been wanting to use in such a long time. Like, there's so many dark types that, like, I've been, like, delayed to actually use in draft. Because either, one, it just didn't work out with the team I had. Or, it just didn't have my interest at the time, even though I've wanted to use it like for a good while now. So I have Bisharp. I've wanted to use Bisharp and Zoroark for the most part, but I wanted to go Bisharp. It's one of those, it's a very high tiered Pokemon. It's OU in the Smogon tier, so I feel like it's got to be high tier for a reason. So I'm gonna go ahead, use it in draft league format and use it myself and see how it goes. I mean, it's not that fast, but I mean, like, base 70 speed, 125 attack, 100 defense, 65 HP. If you look at it from like a good hindsight, it's only good stat would be attack and defense. But you know, with it being a physically offensive attacker and just being an offensive attacker in general, base 70 speed's not that bad, but it's definitely not going to be the most speediest thing. But in return, I do get some pretty cool nicks, or what's it? Is it nicks? Or like niche? Well, I don't know, but it gets Defiance. So with it being a physical attacker, any Pokemon that would, any counter to it that includes Intimidate, it'd be worked against them. Any Sticky Web users that try to use it against me, I have Bisharp, I get +2 attack. If I get Intimidate, I get +1 attack. Defiance is such a great ability, and Bisharp is just a great mon. Has knockoff, stab, knockoff, one of the best moves in the game for competitive. Iron Head is good as well, nice and steel stab. And then it also gets other stuff like Rock Polish, maybe Autotomize, so it can up its speed with that base 125 attack, slap a Life Orb on there, and it's going to be a huge threat. It also gets Stealth Rocks too, which I actually didn't know, so hopefully that can work out as well. So I have Mew and Bisharp, which can both learn Stealth Rocks, and then I have Mew and Thundurus for Defog, and then of those 4 Pokemon that we just went over, Mew and Kieran both have reliable recovery, so pretty weird looking team so far. I think all these Pokemon are OU. All these Pokemon are like at least UU. I've never looked at the tiers in a while now. But there we got Bisharp. So we got 2 rock weaknesses, 2 fighting weaknesses, 1 fire. And, you know, I mean, like, I guess the fighting weakness gets covered by Thundurus and Mew, but in the end, I'm liking my team so far. Like I would have liked to have this Aurora, but I think this is a good alternative. So let's see, 8 more to go. We got Snorlax. The reason why I got Snorlax is because when I think of Snorlax, I think of fat. When I think of fat, I think of thick. When I think of thick, we're just gonna end it there. Snorlax is thick, alright? Thick Fat is great, Gluttony is great, Curse setup is amazing, but as of this recording, after the draft ended, I gave it much thought, and I don't really want Snorlax. So, most definitely for sure in week 1, you're not gonna see Snorlax. I don't know my matchup, but I don't actually want to use it. Like, at this point, like, I really don't want to use Snorlax, because most of the times I've seen Snorlax are like Curse setup, or like Gluttony with Recycle and Ayapa Berry, or like something, or maybe Assault Vest, physically defensive. I really don't know, but I thought about it, and like Snorlax just like, it's just not my style of competitive battling. So I'm probably gonna drop it. If you look at my team overall, my fastest Pokemon is Thundurus Therian, which is base 101, and that's kind of bad. That's just really bad. But there is a lot of normal types out there in this game where they're like base 115, base 110, or at least over base 110, or like at least base 110. So I'm pretty sure I can drop Snorlax, sacrifice some fat, get some speed, because I feel like I'm gonna need that more overall to suit my needs and to suit my style, because I like fast, even though most of my team is like not even base 100, so I got to work around that. But next up we have Excadrill. I used Excadrill a pretty good amount of times in the past, like mainly in the MPA, but Excadrill is just a really great mon. Like, its HP is just like is insane, with like base 110, base 135 attack, hits harder than Bisharp, has Mold Breaker, so anything with Levitate gets hit by Earthquake, base 88 speed, which actually isn't that bad, and Excadrill is freaking short. Like, oh my god, like its poor defenses get made up for the HP it has, for the massive HP stat it has, but its mon is great. Like I said earlier, best rapid spinner in the game. Earthquake and Ground and Steel are both really good stats put together, and like I said with the Thundurus, with the Ice weakness, with me having Volt Absorb, I force a lot of electric types to run HP Ice, but with having Excadrill, I can run a very bulky Excadrill, and HP Ice won't even do that much to me, and I'm already immune to electric type attacks. So depending on the electric type, it may or may not be a problem for Thundurus Therian and an Excadrill put together. as well as if you throw in Curum in there. So unless I'm up against something like a Lantern or an Electivire or something like that, I don't really see myself having any trouble. But if it ever happens, then we'll just improvise, and we'll find out some solution. But yeah, I love Excadrill. I think it's gonna be a great mon this season. I feel like even though I don't have any sand sweepers, or I don't have any sand users, I don't think it's necessary at all. The Excadrill in itself is a really great Pokemon, and I don't think it needs any backup to support itself because it's just a great mod. Like, base 135 Earthquakes, I don't think you want to take that, especially if you're not a flying type at the least. So next up, we got Mega Blastoise. I wanted to use a Mega that I haven't used before, and Mega Blastoise was apparently one of them because I just didn't want to use it, but now I do. So I looked through all the Megas, I looked at the Pokemon I already had, and it seems like Mega Blastoise would be a pretty decent fit. It's a nice, really bulky water type that can hit pretty decently hard with that Mega Launcher, Water Pulse, Dark Pulse, and Aura Sphere. So I think it'd be a great addition to the team. I mean, its speed is mediocre at base 78, but it's actually pretty decent for something so bulky and so powerful. With like base 79 HP, 120 defense, 115 speed def, 135 special attack. Like, 70 HP is really good for stats like those. I mean, for something so bulky and powerful. I mean, its HP is not even that bad either. So, like, I mean, apart from regular Blastoise and Mega Blastoise, this hits harder. I don't know if it has the same speed as the regular Blastoise or not. But with this, it provides me for another Rapid Spin user. I do add an Electric and Grass type weakness, but my Grass type weakness is covered by Bisharp, possibly Mew as well, Kyurem, and Thundurus, and then my Electric weakness is covered by 2 immunities, and Excadrill and Thundurus Therian, as well as Kyurem, which resists. So far I'm lucky in this team, and then there's also Snorlax, which most electric types are special attackers, but then again, like I said, I am going to drop it soon whenever I have the chance. I could do it after the draft, or I could have done it now, but... Well, I guess I could do it now, but if I do it now, it won't take effect till week 2. So that's the only issue. So next up, we got Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee is a fighting type. I needed a good fighting type, and Hitmonlee has just been one of those fighting types that I've always like resorted to. And Hitmonlee is another Pokemon that I'm considered dropping because I want to use more Pokemon that I've never used before. Snorlax, not my style. Hitmonlee, used it too many times. Like, I guess I could say the same thing for Excadrill, but I actually like how Excadrill fits on this team. It is 2 Steel types along with Bisharp, but that is something I'm willing to deal with and accommodate. But Hitmonlee, I've used it so many times in the past, more than Excadrill, to where like I'd rather use something different. Like, I don't want to rely on High Jump Kick all the time to be my wall breaker. I want to use more Pokemon. So as you guys will see here, like, that's pretty much about it. It's another Rapid Spin user. It's pretty fast. I think it's like base 87 speed. I think it's like a little bit more than Rotom. Hits really hard with Reckless High Jump Kick, but like I said, I don't want to rely on that. And I think Hitmonlee is going to drop from Pancham Express. It's going to be brought into free agency, unfortunately. But you guys will see later on after our week 1 match what will be dropping in replace of it. But next up, we have Rotom Heat, our Easy Bake Oven. And I needed a fire type. So I looked at all the fire types, looked at all the fire types that were already drafted. A lot of the really good fire types were already taken. And I was like, you know what, I'll just get Rotom Heat. I mean, like, it's not that bad of a Pokemon. It's really known to be a nice, bulky Pokemon. Nice Pokemon to take on fairy types, or at least wall fairy types, and at least like a Pokemon that can take those hits that isn't named Bisharp because it's part Dark type, so it's neutral. And I'm also getting rid of Snorlax. So I was like, okay, Rotom Heat's not a bad Pokemon. It does provide another Rock weakness with Kyurem and Thundurus. And it does give me a second electric type, but having 2 Volt Switchers isn't that bad of an idea, and I thought it'd be pretty cool. So, like, I mean, I know I'm limited to Hidden Power Fire and Overheat, but I don't think I'm going to need anything too crucial. I mean, Thundurus being a Zmon, I do get Incinerate, Infernal Overdrive. Mew gets, like, almost every Fire type move. Fire Blast at the most, probably, with its highest base. So, I think I'll be fine. Rotom Heat's a really good Pokemon. It gives me another Defog user, a nice Trickmon, as well as, you know, it's pretty one-sided in terms of its move pool. Like, it's not really diverse, but at the same time, I think Rotom Heat's gonna be a great fit for the team. And even so, I'm kind of leaning towards dropping it. Like, I was leaning towards dropping some of these monsters like the end, and I do get 6 trades for the season, but I may use all 6 pretty soon. So next up, we got Gardevoir. Trades to the Gardevoir, which I'm also thinking of dropping. So at this point, I'm thinking of dropping Snorlax, Hitmonlee, Rotom Heat, Gardevoir, and Trevenant. Yes, you're probably thinking like, why the hell not Quillfish? Well, one, I actually like Quillfish. I don't. We'll get there. But Gardevoir is a nice Pokemon, base 80 speed, Psychic Fairy type. I needed a Fairy type, and I know I'm stacking up on Psychic types with Mew. But like I said, I am considering to drop this thing, and if I find a better replacement, I will. And I just haven't really looked at of what was left available, because Gardevoir, I mean, overall Gardevoir is a really good fairy type. I mean, stab Moonblast, gets Healing Wish and Memento, gets Shadow Sneak, Will-O-Wisp. It could be offensive with Bulky, it gets Thunderbolt, Energy Ball, like it gets a bunch of coverage. This thing is just an amazing Pokemon, and it also gets like Wish as well, I think. So this thing's just great. Like, there's no downfall to this Pokemon. It's just I would prefer more speed. Personally, I just prefer more speed. So next up we got Quillfish. Second to last, we got our water poison type. I needed a poison type. I wanted a poison type, and I looked at the poison types, and the only thing that interests me was Quillfish. I mean, there was other stuff like a Skuntank, a Drapion. I already used Drapion, but Skuntank was pretty interesting. But then again, I was preferring a poison type that had access to Toxic Spikes. Drapion has that, but I've already used it before. Skuntank doesn't get Toxic Spikes. I already have Mega Blastoise, so I can't get Beedrill. I don't want to use regular Beedrill, so my options were kind of limited. There was also Tentacruel still on the board, but I feel like Tentacruel is one of those Pokemon in every draft league where that's where people resort to. Oh, I need a Rapid Speed user, I'll get Tentacruel. I need a Water type, I'll get Tentacruel. Or like, I need something fast. It's mainly Rapid Spin, but like in this case, I just needed a poison type with Toxic Spikes. And in this case, I just didn't want to use Tentacruel, and the only other water poison was Quillfish. And I thought, yo, I'll use Quillfish. Like, Quillfish is a really interesting Pokemon. I mean, it does get Intimidate, which is great. So it's another bulky Pokemon. It's another water type for me to use that's not Mega Blastoise, because Mega Blastoise, being as bulky as it is, has no recovery other than rest. So at least with Quillfish, I can carry a Black Sludge and have some sort of recovery. Of course, it's not going to be a good ground type answer like most water types are, but I think I can accommodate and work around that. So Quillfish is great. I mean, base 95 attack, 85 speed, so pretty decent speed. Like I said, it has Intimidate. It gets pretty cool stuff like Destiny Bond, Explosion, Acid Spray, Haze, Icy Wind. It gets Pain Split. It gets Toxic Spikes and Spikes. Taunt, T-Wave, you know, like this thing just gets a lot of utility, and I think I'm pretty sure I can utilize this pretty well. I'm not thinking of dropping this thing anytime soon, because it's one of those more one of those more forgotten Pokemon that but can still really put in some good work, because I think it gets overlooked by like higher tiers. Plus its stats aren't really all that, but you know what, we'll make do. And last but not least, we have Trevenant. I needed a grass type. Okay, I needed a ghost type. Okay, so Trevenant was there. Chase, why didn't you oh my god, Chase, why didn't you get Decidueye? Chase, why didn't you get Gorgeist? Chase, why didn't you get Delmise? All three of those are way better than Trevenant. You know what? Gorgeist was taken, Decidueye was taken, Delmise was taken. What the heck else was I supposed to get at this point? Like, at this point, this is my last Pokemon. I don't have a grass type or a ghost type. I don't have a good ground type switch-in that isn't named Thundurus or Rotom Heat, both of which are weak to rock, and I'm pretty sure every ground type gets Stone Edge or Rock Slide at the least. So I needed something, so I was like, you know what, I'll get Trevenant. Trevenant is one of those more interesting Pokemon. Like, it's not bad, but it's not like really typically seen. And yeah, Trevenant, I'm thinking of dropping, because I've been thinking about it. I looked at all the Pokemon after the draft and free agency, and at this point, I think I'm pretty set on what I'm gonna get to satisfy my needs. And like I said, I'll probably use all 6 of my transactions, but that's okay. If I'm set with the team, I feel like it's good mentally, then I'll be able to use it well. If I'm not good with it mentally, then but you know what, it's all good. I mean, like, I'll just, no matter what, even if I do use up all my 6 trades and I regret it, I'll just make do with it, improvise as much as I can, and just do the best that I can with the team that I have, and hopefully win the season. But other than that, that is going to be our team draft analysis. Nice and near 25-minute video about my team, and I know most of it was just me talking, unnecessary talking, but other than that, that is going to be it. And we're in the Showdown Conference, by the way. No Wi-Fi. I think in playoffs, if we do make playoffs, we're going to have to battle on Wi-Fi. So I might have to beat my game pretty soon, because I actually never finished Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. But yeah, that is going to be it for me, guys. This was GlitchXCity here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully we can pull out a W, or hopefully pick up a title. I want to pick up a title in this league. I really do. There's only been 2 champions. And oh yeah, what am I talking about? First week 1. Prepare for this, guys. We are up against Manu, coach of the Fresno Flygons. If you guys don't know who it is, here's a first hand. He was also in the NCPL Season 4, which we were in, Fresno Flygons. I don't know if that rings a bell. Second hint, he was the champion of last season for Season 2 of the Saffron Battle Network. So right off the bat, I haven't battled in like 3 months. Getting back into Pokemon, drafted a pretty weird team that I'm already thinking of dropping half my team for, and I'm up against the champion of last season. So I don't know how that's going to go down. Hopefully it's not a huge blowout for me, at least. and I just hope that I do decently well this season. There's only 7 weeks of battling, so hopefully we can pull out a record of at least 4-3. That's a pretty comfortable record. 5-2 would be more than likely, or more than enough to satisfy my my expectations for myself and my team. But other than that, if you guys are still here, very much appreciated, and hopefully your Pancham Express can go on to the title and championship and hopefully get a title. But other than that, we got week 1 to go through against Mono, like I said, and hopefully that turns out alright. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are still here, like I said, very much appreciated. I'm just so hyped up. Like I just don't know what to say. Like I haven't made a video in so long. But I'll see you guys next time. This was GlitchXCity here, and I'll see you guys in the next encounter.